Okay guys, Milrick77 here. I'm working on this 2010 Honda Accord V6 sedan that has gotten in an accident. Got some damage here on the bumper. Got a crushed in fender. Got a crushed in door. You guys see the damage on the door? Right in there's a good dent too. Needs a mirror. This went flying off. Who knows where that is? I got the mirror for it. I got to paint the cover. Over on this side, we got a big dent up in here. I don't even know if you guys can see that. Right here is all smashed up in, but he doesn't want that fixed. He just wants this rust blasted off of here, and we're gonna throw a coat of paint on it so it looks halfway decent. It's not really noticeable. I mean, if you're looking at the car straight on, it's hard to tell unless you know what you're looking for, that this is caved up in. But he doesn't want a rust hole there either. So that spot, the door and the fender, and the bumper. I'm going to be doing my special blend job here because there's some chips and gouges along the bumper. So I'm going to come across the top of this bumper, and I'm going to bust off the clear right there, and then I'm going to come around the bottom of the lip of the spoiler of the bumper, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to blow my clear right there. So I'm going to do a blendy blend there and a blendy blend right there. And I'm going to blend the paint from the fender up into the hood. Probably clear the whole hood because this is a tri-stage tri-coat pearl fucking job. I always get pearl, hate pearl. Car has custom pinstriping on it, painted on. I tried wiping it off here with lacquer thinner to see if it would come off. I'm not matching the stripe. I ain't no pinstriper. I don't want to. So I gotta talk to the customer. I got to see if he wants me to just leave it like this, and I'll refer him to somebody that does pinstriping, and they can try to match the paint and do the door and fender. Or I'll remove the entire stripe off the whole car because all I gotta do is wipe it down with lacquer thinner and run the buffer over it, and you'll never know that stripe was ever even there. But I have to see what the customer, aka my family member, wants to do with this fucking hoopty. Okay, so I got the fender off. Oh yeah. I took lacquer thinner and I wiped all the black off of the bumper. What I was left with was damage there, damage all up and through here down to the plastic, and scuffs and scrapes. So a couple little boogers, not too bad. But I gotta come across, I'm gonna be doing, like I said, across here and then across the bottom. So I got some stuff I gotta take care of there and feather out, a little chip there, whatnot. Some gouges on the bottom. Where are they at? Right here. Some gouges on the bottom. They're not going to be pretty. I just smooth them over with like 80 grit, 150 grit, and then just paint them. Because they're so down, so low, and they're always going to keep getting scraped. It's inevitable. Look at it all the way across. It's just going to keep getting scraped. So all I'm going to do is fucking hit it with some rougher sandpaper, hit it with some primer, and then they get painted. Gouges get left. I don't put filler in down below. Because when this is sitting down on the ground, it's so low, if someone's going to stand on their head and look at this thing, they're going to see a lot of other fucking chips and shit in it. But, so I got to come and feather all this out. And this is a big gouge, kind of pushed out the plastic, but I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to feather that out and paint right over that too. Just so it looks good. The hood, I'm going to be blending my color in. And I'm probably going to be fixing the chips here for the guy, because if I'm going to clear the whole hood, I might as well do it here. Plus I won't really have to worry about color, just on the edges here and here on the hood. But over here there is one little chip that is away from the rest of them, but I don't want to be shooting a tri-coat paint and trying to blend it that close to that fender. So what I'm going to do is, before I clear it, I'm just going to take a touch-up brush and put a dab of paint on it and clear over it. It'll look like a fisheye, so at least there won't be a chip. And I'm over here working on this door right now is what I'm doing. What I did, I don't know if you guys can tell, kind of, sorta, maybe from this angle. I took my Durablock with 80 grit and I sanded the door to see where my low spots were. Right here we have a little low. Right here we got some low. And obviously down here we have some low and whatnot. So these dents really aren't that deep at all, not even the littlest bit. So I'm not even going to waste my time taking it down to bare metal and getting the stud gun out and then having to take the door panel off to coat the inside of the panel. I'm scuffing these up, sanding these down with 80 grit, and they're going to be getting mudded. Some Bondo, some Platinum Plus, and we're just going to block them flat. That's that, you know what I mean? Some Bondo, hit it with some 150 or 80, hit it again with Bondo, hit it again with 150, hit it with glaze, hit it with 220, prime that bitch, whip it up like whipped cream, and that should look good. This is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my DA with 320 and I'm going to feather back all this paint here and here, and then I'm going to sand down that entire edge with 320, get all those grits out, and then I'm going to prime it. Fill in the 320 grits with primer, that'll be good to go. Same thing up here, I'm just going to take 320 and I'm going to feather all these chips in, and then I'm just going to do a little shot of primer over top of that, and that'll be ready for fucking paint too. So, oh yeah guys, we're moving along on this one. Oh yeah. We got this one in the first wipe, guys. The first wipe. Hit it with 80. It's looking good. Got one little low spot right in the middle. Very, very, very little. Glaze will definitely fill that in. But I got that one in one wipe. That's the way I like them. I also got the bumper feathered out with 320 there and there. I did that while I was waiting for the Bondo on the door to dry. I just feathered out the spots I wanted because I'm only going to prime those couple little spots. Spot prime. But I'm going to scuff the entire surface before I prime of where I'm going to be doing my paint and into my blend. I'm going to put a whack of glaze on that, and I'm going to scuff this up, and then I'm going to start scuffing, and I'm going to actually I'm going to put glaze on that, and while that's drying I'm going to feather out the hood. That's what I'm going to do. These containers are fucking stupid. It really sucks getting the last shit out of these. You got to cut them open. And just like that, bam! Right in primer. I don't fuck around. Oh yeah. Got my spot prime going on all across the hood. We are looking good. Door is nice and straight as an arrow. Came out real sharp. I really like it when they get done in one lick. One lick of Bondo, one lick of glaze. All finished. I like that shit. So yeah, we'll have to install the fender, get her scuffed up and ready to rock and roll. And I still got to take care of that other side where that rust is. I'll do that tomorrow night. But hell yeah, that door went fast as hell. I think I got out here at like 6:30ish, 6:30, quarter to 7, and right now it is 8:17. So that ain't bad. What is that? 6:30. A little less than 2 hours. I got that door and bumper and hood all in primer. Plus got the door straightened, so that's pretty damn good. I like that kind. Okay guys, so I know there's a lot of details missing from this and it's a big jump from one thing to the other, but I have it all masked off and I'm getting ready to spray it. I was just hustling my ass off getting shit ready. I hit that with a wire wheel down the bare metal, get all the rust gone, put some epoxy on it. Gonna paint that up and whatnot. I got my chips all primed up. Sand it down. I gotta cover that tire. And we are ready to get some paint on. I remove the door handle, remove the mirror, remove the belt molding. Got all that shit going. The fender is not bolted down whatsoever. I want to be able to get color up in here a little bit. And I want to be able to shoot color down on that little lip that's going to show. These cars have a big plastic molding that goes there under the hood that hides all those bolts and everything. So I'm not really desperately worried about getting color down in there, but I want to get color up on that lip because that is a little bit visible when the hood is shut. But I don't have the fender bolted down at all. That way I can get around and get paint on all my little lips and whatnot. I did seal the fender. I sealed it with a white 2K sealer, and I'm going to give that a quick little scuff before I start painting. But I got to wipe all this down with wax and grease remover, cover that tire, scuff up the fender, and we're going to be shooting. Now I'm probably just going to take some white that I have laying around, and I'll do a first coat over top of all my primer spots using it as a sealer, and then I'll go straight in with my the color for the car. Hell yeah! Done. Shiny. It came out very nice. I'm happy with this one. It came out very nice. Pretty smooth. And no major issues. Happy with it. I'll show it to you in the sunlight. Well, actually, I'll probably show it to you after I unmask it. Then I'll show it to you out in the sunlight after I buff it. But it is done, and I am pooped. I'm going in the house. Okay guys, so here's the Honda done. All sprayed out, blended in, all white. Ready to rock and roll and go. Get the hell out of my life. The pinstripe, I didn't even touch it. I said fuck that. I gave the guy, my family member, a phone number to a pinstriper so they can get that done, because that's a custom pinstripe. But I got her all blended out and looking good. Ain't too shabby. All done.